Hi, my name is Vita. This is Hippie Crow Hub Arts and Crafts theme. Today we will be restyling, refashioning, refreshing, upcycling one skirt to 2 items. And here we go, let's begin. So I bought this skirt at a thrift store because I thought the material was really fun. And since the last time I wore it, I felt that the length is a little bit boring. It's kind of like mid-knee length. And also the inner layer I already removed because I felt it was too heavy. I accidentally ripped the bottom part too because it got hooked under my shoe. So I thought that it is time to do something about it. And I took the inner layer, I removed it completely, and now I'm going to fold the side that is unfinished. I'm going to make it the same width as the bottom part. It was about 5.5 centimeters. So I'm just doing double fold, and I'm starting in the middle so that the center stitch aligns with each other. I'm pinning it on top too because the material is a little bit wrinkly and I don't have an iron. I know, it's crazy. I do need to get one. But it all works out anyway, so I'm just gonna do it my way. I like to wing it. Also open the side too so that this it's a lot easier to do. So I'm checking the edges now. So what I'm gonna do is, now that I pinned the middle part, I'm gonna pin the edges, and that way the middle part will just do its own magic when I'll pull material. I'm measuring the other side now, and I always find that the folding and the pinning is the biggest job, and once you have that in place, using a sewing machine to run it through the line is very easy. Okay, I'm doing the top and the bottom because I'm going to do 2 stitches, one in the bottom and one on the top too, to press it down so that the material is not getting too puffy. And now, as you can tell, I'm pulling it and stretching it, and it falls right where it's supposed to. All I need to do is press it down and pin it. So instead of measuring it every couple of needles, I pin the center, the edges, and then stretch, and it automatically folds in a really neat way. And this material will become just the bottom part of the skirt because I thought I'm gonna funk it up a little bit. And all sorts of ruffles are now back in, and I crave for something, I guess, Barbie-ish. Never been obsessed or crazy about Barbies, but I guess this pink, bright pink skirt is fallen at exactly the right time of the Barbie movie going crazy. And I'm wondering now, if I go to see the movie, I'm gonna feel like I have to wear this outfit. Alrighty. So that side is pinned, ready to be stitched. So it's the same as the other side. But for now, I'll put it to the side. And let's sort out the length of the actual skirt. So it already has little ruffles. I'm just going to measure the desired length. And I'm going to use the tape to just guide myself so I can cut in a straight line. Already started cutting on the other side, and I'm just going to connect it together. And you know, this could have been also just a very cute fix, just a trim and a little finish, and this would have been very cute mini skirt. But I really wanted to do something with the other part of the material, so I got creative. And this part we are going to get back to, and we're gonna do something else with it, so none of it is gonna go to waste. Alright, so now we have this material. That will be the bottom. Now I'm just gonna sew a straight stitch. Keep it together. And I'm also doing the same on the top, just to have that shape, because it's a big fold, so you don't want it to become really messy and puffy. And never mind the black string, you will see in the end that it won't even be showing. For some reason, at first actually I had a slightly different plan, so I thought I will go over with a black thread on both ends to match it, because I thought it will just be a little fun decoration kind of thing. But after I did my original plan, I realized that the skirt is too long, but then you will see what happens in the end, so none of these stitches will be seen at all. Either way, even if you decide to keep this as another option for different clothing making, I didn't have a matching thread, so I thought, why not? Okay, now that both ends are finished, I'm gonna pin it together because I will split the material into two parts. But again, because the material is slightly creased and a little slippery, I'll make sure that I don't cut it in a funny angle. So now that it's pinned, I'm just gonna split it into two pieces. And that way I'll have more of that bottom frilly part. And I'm also going to connect that side so it's in a whole complete circle. Always aligning the good side with the good side, so after I turn it inside out, the stitch is inside, not on the outside. And there are a few little threads that I had to remove from the previous stitching. Yeah, easy. Of course, I'm doing both sides. And there it is, the bottom of the skirt. Okay, I think I'm just gonna break down the plan how it's going to come together, because right now it just looks like two different projects. So this will become a bottom of the skirt. Alright, so I gotta make sure that the edges are not fraying. I'm going over with a zigzag stitch. That is always a very easy solution. And this part will be on the inside of the skirt, so it will not be seen, so you don't have to worry that it's not perfect. And I'm doing the same on the other layer of the skirt. This material is a little more wrinkly and stretchy, so I have to pull the material slightly. Alright, and it's time to pin. Okay, this is the crazy part. Because both materials are not even length, I have to make sure I don't over ruche it, and I don't pull one material too much, because it has to be even. So what I'm doing is I'm aligning both side stitches with the skirt and the bottom part material. So I'm pinning one side, and then I'm pinning the other side. Pinning and aligning always is the most time consuming part. But if you do it right, that'll be easy. So this will flip back down, so the stitch will be inside the skirt. Now the center. So this is the center of my skirt, and I'm just measuring which crease is in the middle. This one. And this middle stitch will align with the center here. And I just checked which material is longer. The pink one is longer, which is perfect because I want it to bubble up a little bit. So for the creased parts, I'm just gonna go flat, pin the material as normal, and then on the sides where the colorful material, the top layer, doesn't have any creases, I'm going to fold in a little bit to create extra bubbling here. So I have a little excess material here on the pink, and you will see soon right there. So I'm just gonna fold it and stitch it like that, and it will all just blend in together once it's complete. Both materials are quite slippery, so it's not the easiest to work it, but little by little it all works out. I think I did it a little bit too much, so I gotta loosen it up. And then it just keeps going all the way around, and it's time to use sewing machine. This is the fast part. As you can tell, I'm removing my needles towards myself, that way it's just easier to align everything as I'm going, so the two materials are stuck together. Also, what I did, which I don't think I filmed, when I opened the material, I went over in the line between the two materials, the pink and the black and pink, and I did a zigzag to flatten out the line so that it falls nicer. So you can do that. So here, this was the result, and I tried it on, and I wasn't too excited about the length. It still felt a little granny-ish because it was just below my knees, and I thought I'm gonna cut the bottom material and just fix the bottom part, but then I had a brilliant idea of just folding it in and doing like a bubbling style. I don't know if you know the Vivienne Westwood famous skirts were like the bubble skirts. They were like doubled material, and the bottom part is kind of bubbly. So this is a little bit like that, and it actually worked out so good because the length was perfect. It's not too short, not too long, just above the knees, and it did give a skirt that rouging, bubbly kind of feeling, like those frills and layers that I imagined in my head. And this part I decided to do by hand, just with a needle and a thread, because it would have gotten too complicated with the sewing machine, and also I didn't want extra stitches showing at that point because I felt like that already was complete. But it wasn't the end of the world because I just used the excess of a pink material, and then I just stitched these two together. And again, this part stays inside the skirt so nobody can see. And for this, you can do whatever stitch feels comfortable. Because also I had to make sure not to catch the bottom layer of the material, so I just went with the most comfortable stitch. And there's the result, and look at that. Looks so much better. And I love that silky bottom part. And I feel like the skirt looks a lot younger now. And I do love the color and the material. I don't know, I felt excited about the skirt when I saw it. I wasn't too sure if I'm gonna change it up or not, but I bought it anyway. But this project has been a lot of fun for me. So okay, so let's move on to the top making. So remember the part that I cut off, the bottom part of the skirt that I cut off. So this is that material. So what I'm doing right now is just opening up the sides. And what I do, I just gently touch with the scissors on that yarn, and it splits open, and then I pull a little bit and it comes apart. I've always done it this way. It's easy for me, and I like it that way. So this is a little preview of what my plan is with this material. So you see I have two long strings, but one end is nicely folded and the other one is not. So this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna double the material, and I'm gonna leave like a little the inside material a little bit longer, so it's creating a little layers kind of feeling. And it's gonna be pretty much like a square tube top, but when I'm done, the result will be cute. Alrighty, so what I'm gonna do now is touch up the bottom parts, because that has to be finished off. So I decided not to fold it. I noticed from the other bottom of the skirt that I was zigzagging that the material looks really nice with just a zigzag over it without folding. So this is how I'm gonna do it. This will be the finish. So I'm just gonna go over with a zigzag on both ends that were freshly cut. And now the bottom part of the skirt that was originally the bottom will become the top of my top. And then the zigzag parts will be stucked together like that in the bottom of the top, if that makes sense. Okay, so now I'm aligning the two materials like kind of like a staircase. So one material higher than the other, and I'm gonna pin it right there because I want to do both stitches in one shot. I'm going to stitch down the edges of the fold of the bottom material and attach another material to it at the same time, because remember I mentioned that there was a rip and I would have had to go over with a needle, but this will just be easy. So the part that I'm stitching right now with the needles will be the top part, and there it is. And my phone ran out of battery, so I skipped a few videos, but here it is. And then I just flipped it together and aligned it, and this is the top, and I left the split open for the back. And all I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna fold that top to give it a nicer finish, and I will run one more stitch over and around. And like you see, there's no complicated designs. It's literally like a square tube top. But because material is so flowy and that little split gives it a really nice shape. And luckily I had these shoelaces. I think they were from my daughter's shoes long time ago, and I kept them just in case. And look at this perfect marriage, just a perfect match. Couldn't have even shopped for better shade. And there it is. I just attached the straps. There's the front and the back. This is how it looks when the material is dropping. And there's my skirt. And let's try it on. There we go. I think it's actually really cute, and it doesn't have to be worn together. I can wear a top with jeans, and I can wear a skirt with something else. I really think it's a really cute combo, and not too bad for a housewife or a homemaker, huh? Especially that I'm not a professional seamstress. I'm just enjoying creating and crafting. And this is my new little cute upcycle set. Super excited to wear it. I also made this dress recently and I didn't document it, and I kind of regret it because it turned out so nice. I used the denim scraps and a whole bunch of bandanas that I had bought in bulk, and it's totally hippie vibes and I love it. So this will be the next video that I will make. I will combine these two outfits and I'll make something else out of it. And stay tuned if you want to see it.